Challenge 18 is to cycle 100 miles in a day.
So far I am about 25 miles, well 23 to be exact, into my 100-mile cycle ride. The reason I've stopped at 23 miles is basically because I'm a bit lost. I had a route that was mainly quite large A roads planned from Brighton to Bournemouth, which was between 96 and 100 miles, and I was just going to sort of cycle a couple of extra miles if I hadn't made the 100-mile point. But I've kind of found like the South Coast cycle route, which is absolutely gorgeous, to be honest. I mean, look at this. I've basically been cycling along the beach the whole time, which is brilliant, and was really cool until I lost the cycle route. So I'm desperately searching for these cycle route signs. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm just going to go and sort of cycle around a bit more. To be honest, today is more about the distance than where I end up, and because I'm getting the train home, as long as I cycle to somewhere with a station wherever I go, as long as it's 100 miles, I'm fine. 40 miles in, not such a picturesque location this time, lovely. Just making a quick nap stop with my lovely photocopies, and these are my directions, which I clearly haven't followed, which is why I got so lost. But yeah, just making a quick nap stop to make sure that I go the right way. The brilliant thing, she says, on the side of this really busy road, the brilliant thing about the South Coast, about cycling down here, is that even these really busy roads have cycle routes all down the side, as demonstrated there. So it's not as scary or dangerous as you might think, which is actually really, really handy. And the weather today is absolutely glorious. There's barely a cloud in the sky, and I'm cycling through like all these fields, and it feels like I'm cycling around the south of France. It's absolutely amazing. Probably the only day of the year that you could do that. But yeah, so quite good luck there. Apart from, I'm a little bit worried I'm going to get sunburnt. No, I have got some sun cream on, so hopefully I should be okay. Anyway, yeah, legs are fine. I'm not out of breath or anything, keeping quite a nice pace up. The only thing is that my wrists are quite sore just from sort of holding them on the handlebars in the same position the whole time. I guess I've been cycling probably 3.5, 4 hours, something like that. And the other thing that's really, really hurting is my lower back, and I've realised why. It's because my bike light, which is very streamlined, is in the way it's positioned in my rucksack. It literally was just poking straight into the bottom of my spine. So they were the only things that have been hurting, but they're easily sorted. Well, my rucksack is. My wrists are just going to have to put up with another couple of hours of cycling. But I'll see you at the lunch stop, which is going to be 50 miles. I'm not sure where I'll be then, but 10 miles from here. See you in a bit.
I didn't actually stop for lunch until just under 65 miles. I ran into problems on the A27. Essentially it turns into a massive motorway, so I was stuck south of it. As a result, I ended up eating lunch at Southsea and then taking the ferry over to Gosport, a suggestion which the chef at the pub where I'd eaten lunch had made. Local knowledge definitely turned out to be more useful than road signs. From Gosport, it was up to Southampton and then on to the New Forest, where I eventually reached 100 miles in Brockenhurst.
Hey! 100 miles! Do you know what? The last 20 miles were an absolute nightmare, and not because of the distance at all. Well, and I actually got on a nice flat road and knew where I was going. I actually still had quite a lot of energy, but I had just got so lost. Southampton, Chichester was quite bad earlier on, but Southampton was an absolute nightmare. Like literally, I ended up going the wrong way down a dual carriageway and literally like climbing up the bank, and I've got like stinging nettles, like stinging nettle rash all up my legs, and I think if I'm going to do this again, I'm going to kind of need a support team who've got sat-nav on in the car, because it is so hard. I've now got so much sympathy for cyclists, because it's just been so hard to work out where to go, because the signage just kind of stops every now and again, and cycle tracks are great when they're there, but quite a lot of the time they just suddenly cut out. So, you know, 1 minute you're on a cycle track and then the next you're on the wrong side of the road, and that's the other problem, is that the cycle tracks, they only seem to have them on one side of the road, and so you like sometimes it just switches and you have to literally run across these like national speed limit roads to try and get back on the cycle track. So I'm absolutely knackered, like mentally knackered. But yeah, so I'm here in the New Forest. I had thought that we were going to get all the way down to Bournemouth, but obviously all the loops I've taken and things have added up. I guess that this challenge has actually been a really personal one for me because I do struggle with cycling on the road. I do get quite nervous, and cycling downhill and stuff, it's weird because, you know, I ski and I do a lot of kind of high speed sports, and put me in a car and I'll go whatever speed you ask me to, which we'll see tomorrow when I'm doing rally driving. But put me on a bike and I just suddenly like panic so much. I was a bit better on the hills though, and I did really notice my confidence go up. I mean, obviously I've been cycling for what, let's have a look, 8.5 hours the bike's been going. I mean, a lot of that was being pushed through traffic and stuff, but technically I left Brighton 11 hours ago, so I suppose in that time my confidence has improved a lot, just being on the road the whole time, and I did get used to sort of things, and I got used to far faster roads. I still, you know, the national speed limit roads still scare me a lot unless there is a specific cycle path that you can go on, because you just have these cars that are just cutting so close to your ears. Yeah. but yeah, I'm really glad I did this one, and I think the next time I do a long distance challenge it's going to have to be with a support team if I'm on a bike, because I need a sat-nav. Why don't they do sat-navs for bikes? Anyway, I will be back in a car tomorrow, so I will see you tomorrow for some rally driving.
Finally, especially for Ibs, who I know likes to know how I injure myself during challenges, here's some shots of what my ankles looked like after I had to detour through brambles and nettles on the bank of a dual carriageway near Southampton.